Good morning, afternoon, evening, friends and family, loved ones. This is your friend Kelly, and this is going to be a different video, and it's probably going to be a long one, so I apologize. I should honestly probably split it up into multiple videos, but I'm not going to because that's just the way I am. Anyway, this is going to be about small knives, and I'm sure I've went through all my knives, but I am sure there's some that I have missed. I'm double checking right now. I think this one. Yeah, that probably should have made it in there too. That looks like it's a little bit longer. We'll start off with this one since I kind of missed it. Oops, that was on me. Yep, it's a good half-inch longer. D-Rocket S90V. Oh gosh, what was this one called? It'll come to me eventually. It did come with a clip. I've mentioned it before on other videos, and I took the clip off because it created a serious hot spot. This is one that pretty much has permanent residence back here in the back office, / my paracord room, / my recording video room, / my pouring room for pouring resin molds and stuff like that. You know the deal, guys. But that's the D-Rocket, and like I said, I'll probably remember it after I probably finish the video. Now, that was S90V, and then you have the CRKT Pilar or Pilar, depending on what it is, that's in 8CR13. That is right at 5.9 inches, just under 6 inches. And this is one that was modded by Mr. Jimmy. And this one was clear coated for me by War Room. But I've got, for me, so far, I've got two. Boy, I am having issues today. The Tiger Stripe one also, that Mr. Jimmy did. Eventually I need to clean all my knives and wax them. It's been a little while since I've done that. So, you figure those are small knives. Then the next one, the Demco Nano Shark's Foot, CPM 20CV, which is right at 5.8, so it's just under 6 inches also. It's just a smidge smaller than the Pilar, whichever you want to call it. Not by much, but it is a smidge smaller. Also, I'm sorry, I really like Demco and their Shark's Foot blades. That one is my favorite blade shape of theirs. But there's that one. Let's see here. Berg Blades Mini Slim. And black DLC and carbon fiber. And I think, yeah, S90V. And I have multiple waxes that I have. I use this quite frequently because this one is a good, loose, easily applied wax that I'll do. And I think, bear with me a minute, I think this is the glow version. Hold on a minute. Maybe not. My battery about ready to die. Nope, it must not be. I must be thinking of another one. Oh, I am. I'm thinking, never mind. I know what I'm thinking of. It's in the list. It'll be coming. But this is the Mini Slim 2.0 Berg Blades. I just literally got it probably in the last 6 or 8 months. Really, really like that knife. I should carry it more often. Now, a more recent addition to the collection was one I got in trade with DBD. And that's the Ace Riv, if I remember correctly, in MagnaCut. Yep, MagnaCut. And, of course, I sat there and took off the lanyard that he had and put my own spin on with my lanyard. I thought that with the gold bronzish colored trim and the gray and black with that in there and doing the paw on it. That just was me. But anyway, I already said MagnaCut, 5.75 inches if I remember correctly. Do the research on the size of these knives, because I'm not going to guarantee that I'm 100% correct. You know, I don't, doing all that just isn't really part of me, per se. And now here is two Isonzos, MKM's Isonzos, and I haven't messed with these in a while, and I really should, because they need to be worked in a little bit. Technically the same knife, just different handle material that I really, really like. And these were in M39. Wait a minute. This one was N690, and this one was M390. So the red carbon fibers M390 and N690 for the other one. And these I think were right at just like 5.7 inches, 5.5, 5.7, somewhere in that general vicinity. Those are actually really cool, and it's ones if you wanted to get a clip and actually clip it onto something, you can. And have you noticed anything so far on any of these with what I normally do? Say, subtle hint. So far I've only got one with a lanyard on it. Does that seem odd to people? Maybe. Maybe. Now, the next, I'm going to bring three up next, because technically I think they're all right at the same size, and they're all the same deal here. We've got my lovely Devo nip, carbon fiber, nip light that I just literally got a few months ago, purple that I came after, and then the nip slip. Now, I don't remember what all these were size-wise and what they came with and stupid stuff like that. Nip light, I think, was CPM 154. I think, oh, there it is, S90V for the regular nip. Does it? Yep, C154CM, 154CM. I know CPM 154 and 154CM are different critters. And does this have it anywhere? I don't remember what. For some reason, I'm thinking the nip is like S90V, I think. Let me get this light down. I have the other one. This is the one that is the glow that I was trying to remember. So, and those are what? Like, they're all right at the same length, and I didn't. Right at 5.5, just maybe a smidge under. And, God, I love this knife. And, snap. Alrighty. And let's see here. I think this is the next one. Spyderco Dragonfly, the tattoo variation. I actually did have all three, the Ladybug, the Cricket, and this one, and I'll be honest with you, the Ladybug and the Cricket was extremely hard to find, and they were selling quite well. And I sold them because all they were doing was sitting there collecting dust, and I never carried them because I didn't want to scratch them and scuff them up because I just thought they were friggin' cool. I kept this one because you can still find this. You can still buy it. But this is a VG10. Still a very, very cool little knife. I mean, it's a lockback. You guys know me. I'm not a huge fan of lockbacks to begin with. I think it's like just over 5.5 inches, like 5.6-ish range. Those are real close together size-wise. Now next, I have two TRM Holy Nerds, and This is a holy nerd, not the holier nerds. The holier's bigger holes. This one is the brass one that I think was a special Blade Show edition. Let's see if I can get it flip out. I'm still working it in. Nope, not quite. That I traded with DBD. Also, that was part of the trade with the Giant Mouse Ace Riv. And I really like this little knife. And let's see if I... Nope, like I said, I still need to work it. This one's being worked in. That one's not quite to that point. Now, this one is the carbon fiber version that obviously is worked in, that I bought from a member of the community. And both of these are Magna Cut. And I think they're right at 5.5 inches. But I know I had... Aries had one when we did the meetup, and I could not for the life of me, and I think his might have been the holier nerd. For the life of me, I couldn't flick it. I don't know if his wasn't worked in yet, or if it was just me not messing with something quite that small to reverse flick. But, hey Aries, if you watch it, yes, I can do it now. Okay, next, let's see here. This is a Trivisa Andromeda. I put one of those little thumb studs that you can put on there because I had issues trying to get to the hole to flick it. But with that little thumb stud, oh, that works really well. This was a win, if I'm remembering correctly, from Ron Crow. And Crow's Woodworking, Knives and Woodworking, or whatever he calls his channel. Everybody knows it's Ron Crow. And I absolutely adore this little knife. And I don't know if you can see, it's been getting some use. I do use it. Like I said, I need to clean them all. I'm not sure all the scuffs and scratches will come out, because I know some of them probably are. But it's purple. How lucky did I get to win a purple one? Just saying. But this one was 14C28N, and it's just under 5.5 inches. It's just a little bit smaller than the TRM. But for a decent little budget, semi-budget knife, that is an awesome little knife. Now this one will be the second one with a lanyard on it, that I did put a lanyard on it. And this is a Boker Harlock, which is an auto. I'm probably getting rid of the majority of my autos because I just don't carry them. This one is staying in my collection because this is just friggin' cool. And this, if I remember correctly, was Black Widow something or other is the one that did the modification with the Resident Evil theme, the Umbrella Corporation, on it. And this is just, I'm not much into horror movies per se, but the Resident Evil series I really, really liked. And my husband actually came across this and he goes, honey, you need to look at this. And sure enough, I was like, yes, I want. And I got. But of course I did put a lanyard on this one with a couple basic red beads just to match with the red blood splatter, and gray, light gray with a darker gray cord that I thought matched that pretty well. But that, you figure out of all these little knives, so far only 2 of them have a lanyard. I don't put lanyards on everything, guys. I really don't. Just to let you know. Now next is 6 leaf, I think is what this is called. And this one I have to hit it just right to front flip it. And this was a win I got from Ken Faulkner. And this is an SL13 and D2. He was getting rid of a few of his knives that he just didn't carry or didn't like or whatever. And this one didn't even come with a clip. But this one I actually have used quite frequently, Ken, if you end up watching this. I like keeping these knives out by my area when I'm opening and packages and stuff like that. Envelopes, whatever. But this is an awesome little knife, and it'll be one that'll stay in my collection, just like the Ron Crow one because I won those, and they're ones that I do use and I do enjoy using them, even if they are on the small side. But this is what we're going with is small ones. But this one is just over 4.5 inches too, like 4.65 or 6.8 or something stupid like that, if I remember correctly. Did I say with the Boke or Harlock? It's just under 5 inches. I think it's like 4.9 or 4.89 or something like that. Now, next one is the Tactica. I almost missed this because I had it up on my shelf up here, and I had put a little batch of small bits and pieces of paracord that I was just cut recently from stuff I was making that I was putting in a bag that was handy to switch over to a bigger bag to give to somebody to see if they can use it instead of me pitch it. But this Tactica K150, I think is what it's called, was from Mr. Rory when he gave us the knives that I gave away for the Christmas time, that all of December, where I gave something away each week. He said, like, this one's for you, and he gave one, and he said Brian could pick one out that he wanted, but I got this one for me, and this is just an awesome little knife, and I keep it back here also. And if I remember correctly, this is right at 4.5 inches open total. And it's black PVD, and it's the 8CR 14 MOV. I had to research that one because they didn't have that information on the blade. Well, heck, I don't think half of these had the information on there. Now, we got this one is another very recent acquisition that I got from Big Red. And, you know, most of the time I get that. That time I didn't. It's a little Boker. That's the one that kind of rattles that I think drove him nuts. But he gave it away. And, what is this called? It's a D-Rocket. I don't know if it actually has a name. I forget what it is. But it's in D2. And this is for a little knife. And we're talking little. This one is right at 4 inches total. I think the blade's like 1.87 or something like that. But if you watch his video, his short where he likes to cut through the rope, this sucker went through that rope. And I always thought that that would be an issue for a shorter blade to give you more of a slicing surface to go through something. This one was a champ and went right through it. This is another one that stays out in my area now and gets used quite frequently too. Now, this one, a lot of you guys have seen. This is a Spyderco Poochie, Poachy, Pokey. It's my little pupper dog knife. And this one does stay back here. I got it, Mr. Jimmy, where he did some slots in those skulls that I pour. I have it back here propped up because I always had it propped up, but it kept getting it. If I banged the desk or something, it would fall down. That skull works great to do that. But even has a little paw print in the clip. I mean, how cute is that? Come on, guys. Anyway, this one is in actually S45VN, SCPM S45VN. This was like just under 4 inches. It's like 3.94 or 5 or something like that. And it's just, it's a little bitty baby. It really is. It's a little bit smaller than that D-Rocket. And let's see here. What else do we have? Oh, we're getting down. There's 3 left, guys. Like I said, unless I missed something. The Mini Corvid. Everybody has to have a Corvid of some sort in their collection. I've got the little mini that was Damascus with the lightning anno on it that I got. And I don't use this knife. I got it because, flat out, I liked it. I thought it's cute. It's like my Spyderco. There we go. I have issues getting that one flicked open. The smaller ones I really do have issues with. But that is just an awesome, awesome little knife. And this is, of course, Damascus. And it's right at 3 3/4 of an inch long total, overall length. But there's that. This one I literally was sorting through stuff and found it's a Victorinox. You know there had to be at least one in there. And, of course, it's purple also. This one was, I think my husband had got it because he does medical stuff. It's whatever. Some of you guys know, some of you don't. He's like an engineer and works with doing implants, make microfacial implants, like the bolts and screws and stuff like that, that if you have to have work on your face for whatever reason, a lot of people with cleft palates, that type of stuff is what he does. He runs machines and different things, and that's one of the things I always thought was funny. He tries to help some people out, and I think they kind of blew him off, and when he was trying to explain how some stuff worked and a better way to do it, and after he gets blown off a couple times, he doesn't bother trying to help anymore. That's just the way he is. But this one is, hold on a minute, this was the one. Now, of course, you got the little Phillips head here. You got the little opener. What, do you know what the extra little hole is right there? Is that just to like to get something and tweak something? I really don't know. When I was playing with it, because like I said, I just recently came across it. I was sorting through a tote that had odds and ends in it, and came across this one, and I was debating on whether or not to try to sell this, but you know what, I need to get tweezers to replace, and I probably should see about ordering or replacing the toothpick also while I'm at it. You can tell by how yellowed the toothpick is that this is not exactly new anymore, but it's purple, it's cool, I like it. But you know, that one is probably like 3 3/4 inch also. It's right at the same length as the Corvid. And last but not least is one that I got, and I can't flip this one open, is the little D2 React, I think, or something along that lines. Reactive, something from CountyCom. I got it in one of the boxes because I do the monthly, well, it used to be monthly boxes, now it's quarterly boxes. But this is just a little D2 pocket knife that I thought would, let me see if I can. Nope. I don't think I've ever successfully flicked that open. But I thought this would be a good little package opener, but the angle of it doesn't do real good for me for doing that. Now, if you needed to like slice something like that, that would probably work really well with the way that is. But for package opening, it's not my preferred way of opening packages. But this was another one, like D2, 3.7 inches. It's just a smidge smaller, but it's almost just as wide as it is tall. But that was that. And I am pretty sure that was done. I mean, I know I probably missed other knives that I have, but I would say this is a good representation of pretty much all of my small knives that are under 6 inches. Like I said, I'm sure I may have missed one or two here or there. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to spin you around. And my cord, I just realized I had it undone because I moved everything, and it's hanging down, starting to irritate me. But there we go. This is something that I'm wondering, how many of these do you guys have? Or what small knives do you have? Are they as small as these? Do you have ones that are smaller? I'm sure there's ones out there. Probably not anything that I have seen, but just in case you have, let me know what you got. Anyway, this is a little collection of small knives. You guys have a wonderful day. Many hugs, many kisses, much love. Your friend Kelly. Bye-bye.